Hello and welcome to another episode of All Things Aussie Footy, covering everything from the AFL to the AFLW. My name is Ashley and today we will be looking at round 4 of the 2022 Toyota AFL Premiership season and where all teams are lining up ahead of a massive weekend of footy. We've also got the AFLW Grand Final being played on Saturday morning or afternoon, wherever you're from in Australia or around the world. So we're going to look in depth into that one that we played at the Adelaide Oval between Adelaide and Melbourne, but more into that later. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down below. Also, put your notification bell on so you know when we upload. We aim to go and upload twice a week, every week, for the AFL season, so make sure you are aware of that. Save it in your calendars, put the bell on so you know when we're uploading. Also, leave a comment down below and tell me what you guys like and what you don't like about the series, what we can improve on, what you want to see more of, what you want me to get rid of. I'm happy to listen to your feedback and take it into consideration about what we do. Also, follow us on Facebook at All Things Footy, and if you would like, you can send a private message through our Facebook page and let me know what you guys think if you don't want to put it up on YouTube or whatever it may be. Other than that, guys, let's get started and kicked off into this. We are changing some stuff up. Today we are going to be looking at the AFLW Grand Final for season 2022 rather than starting off with the AFL at the moment. The biggest game of the year played between Adelaide and Melbourne at the Adelaide Oval. Bounce down is 10:30 Australian Western Standard Time. Two great teams, two unbelievable teams that played extremely well this year, finishing 1 and 2. I'm sure this is going to be a ripper of a game. These guys have already played once this year, and Adelaide should have run away with it, but they didn't. The inaccuracy cost them. It was at Norwood Oval, it wasn't at the Adelaide Oval. Big difference between the grounds. Adelaide fresh off a win against Fremantle on the preliminary final in order to host the grand final at Adelaide Oval. But also Melbourne just escaping with a win over the reigning premiers, the Brisbane Lions. So two teams that are hot off wins, are ready and raring to go for the grand final. The last time I played Adelaide, kicked 4 goals, 11-35. Big inaccuracy there. They should have run away with that big time. But they did defeat Melbourne 3-3-21. That was played in round 4 this year. I remember watching that game, and Aaron Phillips 3 goals from 17 disposals, as well as Anne Hatchard, who had 29 disposals. Brilliant standout performances there. Daisy Pearce, 7 disposals, but also kicked 2 goals within those 7 disposals. Great run and carry from her, great accuracy. With those 2 goals, unfortunately, it wasn't enough to bring home the win in round 4. Hoping for a different result for Melbourne this year. But my tip for this one, I will probably have to go Adelaide at the biggest day of it all. Adelaide playing at home in front of the Adelaide faithful. I think it was last year they ended up with nearly 53,000 rocking up at the Adelaide Oval. Magnificent there. Brilliant ground. I can't wait to see how this plays out. Make sure you guys are tuning in for that game. That starts at 10:30 Australian Western Standard Time at the Adelaide Oval. Biggest game of them all. Keep your eye out on that one. It's going to be amazing. The round 4 of the AFL fixtures is out. The teams are in for the Thursday night game. No other teams have listed players, unfortunately. But we're starting off tonight with Port Adelaide and Melbourne. Port Adelaide and Melbourne both making finals last year. Melbourne ultimately, if you remember rightly, going on and absolutely demoralising the Western Bulldogs in the grand final at Optus Stadium. Coming away with the premiership. Port Adelaide this year on a very slow start, 0-3, sitting in the bottom 3 on the ladder, along with West Coast and Essendon. But this will also be played at Adelaide Oval tonight. So we've got 2 massive games at Adelaide Oval, one tonight, one Saturday. Going to be a ripper of a game. I can't wait for it at all. The teams are shaping up to be looking absolutely amazing. I can't wait to watch it. It's on at 5:40 tonight, Perth time. It's going to be wicked. Port Adelaide have dropped 2 players but brought in another one. Tom Curry, who comes into the side for Martin Frederick, and Sean Sam Skinner, sorry, they've both been omitted from the side, unfortunately. Melbourne lose Joel Smith to the health and safety protocols after contracting COVID-19, so he will not be making the trip to Adelaide, unfortunately. Toby Bedford is listed as the medical sub for Melbourne. Nothing's been listed for Port Adelaide at the moment, but a massive in for him is Jake Lever. Jake Lever is going to be a huge asset for them coming back into the side after exiting health and safety protocols. I can't wait to see how he's going to line up here. He will be coming out of the half-back line for Melbourne. So he'll be up with Harms, Hunt, Tomlinson, May and Rivers from his own team. Amazing back line there. I'm sure they're going to do a great job in keeping the Port Adelaide fans quiet down that end of the ground, but also minimise the goals coming through from Port Adelaide, especially with the likes of Ollie Wines, Drew, Bope, even Lysett in the midfield. If they can move that ball down in the forward and they catch Melbourne napping, I sense an upset. But ultimately, Melbourne, I feel like, are going to come away with the win. They're going to show us why they are the reigning premiers and why they are a feared team in the AFL competition for 2022. I can't wait for that again. Bounce down is at 5:40 Perth time. It is 2nd versus 16th on the ladder. Obviously Melbourne sitting second behind the Lions. The Lions are only on top due to that massive percentage booster that they received for their game against North Melbourne last week after smashing by 108 points. So it's only the percentage separating those teams. The next fixture that is being released is Friday night, GMHBA Stadium, Geelong and the Brisbane Lions. Geelong, a veteran age team, a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge within their playing group. Brisbane, somewhat fairly young, but do have the likes of Charlie Cameron. They've got Daniel Rich, Mitch Robinson, Joe Danaher. I reckon this game is going to be one to watch. It is 1st versus 7th, so there is a bit of a gap on the ladder between the two teams. However, that's not going to stop them. Geelong's home game. Geelong fans are going to turn out in numbers. Going to be a ripper of a game on Friday night. Saturday, we are looking at Sydney and North Melbourne. Sydney to take this one easy. Being played at the SCG. Back there at home, back to where Buddy Franklin kicked his 1000th goal. Yes, it is a big talking point, and it is one that everyone's going to remember for the rest of their lives, provided that they were alive to see it. If not, you should go and watch the replay of it. It was amazing. Just the scenes there were freaking phenomenal. I don't think I'll ever see anything like it again in my lifetime. So Sydney for me in this one over North Melbourne. North Melbourne coming off a disappointing loss to the Brisbane Lions. Not really disappointing loss, it was an absolute slaughtering. So let's hope North Melbourne can bounce back. But Sydney, with their team that they've got, is going to be an absolute ripper. I can't wait for that one. Collingwood West Coast, Marvel Stadium. West Coast have been on the low this year. A lot of ins and outs in terms of injuries and COVID and all the rest of it. Collingwood are missing a spearhead in Taylor Adams, unfortunately. Might give West Coast a bit of hope, might not. It depends. I can't wait to see the teams coming out for this one. But ultimately, Collingwood's got my tip for this game. They're just going to be too strong at home at Marvel. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens there. Saturday footy continues with Richmond and the Western Bulldogs at the MCG. Another ripper of a game. Western Bulldogs grand finalists last year. Richmond Tigers grand finalists in 2020. They also won the flag, but they do have a fair few outs for Richmond. They are missing a few key players. Obviously, Dusty Martin is not available again. We don't know when he's back. It will be in due time. Let's just hope he comes back soon. At this rate, he's probably going to look at the ladder, see Richmond are slowly but steadily dropping. He's going to want to come back, try and help them get that elusive premiership this year again. The Bulldogs, on the other hand, do still have a few outs. Josh Bruce is out. Jason Johannesson, I'm pretty sure, is out this week. Fair few players in there. Hopefully not too many changes. I don't think we'll see as many as what West Coast had in round 2 against whoever they played in round 2, I can't remember. But we'll see when those teams come out, how many ins and outs are in there. The last game on Saturday, you can't really call it just a Saturday afternoon of footy. It is a super Saturday of AFL football. You've got the grand final, you've got 4 AFL games straight after that grand final, hence it's on early morning in Australian Western Standard Time. It's going to be a massive day on Saturday. I can't wait for it. I know where I'll be. I'll be sitting on the couch watching all of these games, keeping a very close eye on a lot of them. So make sure you are too, and I'd like to see what people say in reviews about that round, especially on this video or on Facebook. We'll see. But to round out the Super Saturday of football is the Fremantle Dockers versus the GWS Giants at Optus Stadium. The Purple Haze game for the Starlight Foundation. Myself, personally, I was part of the Starlight Foundation, going through PMH, being in and out of hospital a lot. I am a Saints supporter, but this game does mean a lot to me in terms of them raising money for the Starlight Foundation. It is an amazing cause that Fremantle are doing to help 6 children in the Perth Children's Hospital, but also back when PMH was around, helping them as well. I've always had a soft spot for these sort of games. Usually it's Fremantle and St Kilda that play these, but unfortunately this year it's Fremantle GWS at Optus Stadium. I don't think we've had a Purple Haze game in about 2 years due to the COVID pandemic. It's good to see it back. Fremantle to get up over the Giants here. It's going to be a ripper of a day, ripper of a game. I can't wait for it. Like I said, Fremantle's got a fair few out still. Nat Fyfe is recovering well from a back injury, having surgery on that as well. He is recovering well. He is slowly getting back into it. We could expect him back by about round 6, round 7, hopefully. Caleb Sarong was walking around the other day at training off of crutches, so that's a positive sign for him. A few of the other boys were doing their own drills off to the side away from the main group, so it's good to see a lot of those boys coming back. Darcy Tucker, we're not too sure what's happening with at the moment. He is up and about. He was at training the other day. It's good to see him back. It is good to see him recovering. He will be out this game anyway due to the return to play protocols for the AFL being 12 days mandatory leave with concussion. So hopefully we see him back next week. But we just don't know yet. It depends on who comes into the side, who's out of the side next week. Sunday we kick off with 2 teams that are in much need of a win in Essendon and Adelaide at Marvel. Essendon are proving to be a big disappointment this year. No offence to all the Essendon supporters. I have a few mates that support Essendon, but they are proving to be a big letdown this year. Adelaide, on the other hand, coming off that mind-blowing, mind-boggling win against Port Adelaide in the showdown. Kick after the siren to win. They're going to go into this game all hyped, all on a high, at Marvel Stadium. This one, I reckon, is going to be a great game on Sunday. I can't pick between the two of them, but I don't want to see a draw. I would like to see Essendon take their first win. I just do not see it happening. I am going to go with Adelaide for this game. But again, this will be another game to watch this week. So stay tuned for that one. Make sure you're tuning in for that. A game at the MCG this week. The second game at the MCG. It's on a Sunday. Hawthorne St Kilda. Hawthorne playing absolutely amazing. Coming back to what I believe is probably their 2013-14, 15 years where they were just absolutely dominating. Won the 3-peat in the premierships. I reckon it's slowly getting to that sort of prime stage again, especially with a lot of young players. Sam Mitchell as a coach, played in that premiership team. He's got a lot of expertise, he knows what he's doing, he knows how to help these younger players coming through the system to get on their feet and ready to go and rip-raring, ready for a big year at Hawthorne. St Kilda, on the other hand, I feel like they have a chance of winning this game, but they need to prove it. Playing at the MCG is such a big stage. It's not exactly the grand final, but any game at the MCG, either way, is on a big stage. The hello turf, going to be tough. Max King needs to get going. Jack Steele needs to start carrying the ball through the midfield, attacking that a lot more. Dan Butler needs to get on that card. Unfortunately, I believe that Jack Higgins is also out this week due to concussion protocols after sustaining a head knock in the round last week. So he, unfortunately, will be out for the game against Hawthorne, so he's going to be a big loss for us. So we're going to need players to step up. Ben Long last week coming in as the medical sub, but did step up a lot more. The backline really need to do a lot of work in terms of trying to shut down Hawthorne's attack, but I can't wait for this one. Obviously, being a St Kilda supporter, this is a big game for me. At the MCG, I want to see my team come away with the win and prove it to why they are pushing to play finals football. Unfortunately, I've got Hawthorne. They're proving just way too strong this year, but will be a good game, and I cannot wait for that one. To round out your round 4 fixtures, there is a game up at Metricon Stadium this week with the Gold Coast Suns playing host to the Carlton Football Club. Carlton, 4-0. That's it. 4-0, they're going to come out and absolutely smash Gold Coast. Gold Coast won't know what's going to hit them. They're going to walk in and go, okay, we've got Carlton. We know we can win these games. Let's go out and play. Carlton are going to come in all high, 3-0 to start the year. Amazing year Carlton's having at the moment. They're going to come out and run riot all over Gold Coast and absolutely smash them and catch them napping to keep their undefeated run alive. Which means in my books, we're going to have the 3 teams that are currently undefeated being Melbourne, Brisbane and Carlton. They're all going to go to 4-0 on the ladder, share that top spot. How long they're going to go undefeated, I don't know. But this is a fantastic week of football. It is such a big round with the AFLW Grand Final. Make sure you're tuning into Channel 7 for that one. That's at 10:30 Australian Western Standard Time. Then you have the Sydney North Melbourne, Collingwood West Coast, Richmond Bulldogs and Fremantle GWS all on that same day. So it's a massive weekend of football. Make sure you're ready, sit down, have some laughs, grab a cold one, have your mates over, have a barbecue, do what you guys do best and enjoy the football. It is going to be an absolutely fantastic round, fantastic week. I can't wait for it to get started. Kicking off tonight, Port Adelaide, Melbourne. That's going to be a doozy of a game. So make sure you guys are tuning in for those. I can't wait to bring you the recap next week. But other than that, guys, make sure the subscribe button is on. Put the bell notification on. Leave a like, leave a comment. Follow us on Facebook at All Things Aussie Footy. And let me know what you guys think of the series, of the show, and what I can improve on and what you don't like. I'll try and make improvements where I can, so stay tuned for that. Next week's episode will be a recap followed by a preview for round 5. We're only getting started for the season, guys. It is going to be a ripper. Thank you for tuning in. I can't wait for next week to bring you guys a recap. So for me tonight, wherever you may be, that is it. That's another episode wrapped up. So stay tuned next week. We'll drop another one. Thank you.